Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Finders Trading Channel. Back again with another daily market analysis video. It is the 3rd of April, 2025, on a beautiful Thursday, and we have just had the announcement by Trump last night regarding the tariff situation, and it appears that most countries that do import and export with the US will now be charged tariffs and these amounts differ, but we've seen some extreme impacts in the markets, especially the ones congruent or correlated to the USD that have had some major shifts. So, without further ado, let's get into it and see what some of these changes look like. Starting with NAS 100 US Tech, we see that at 10 o'clock last night, we had that major bearish push after Trump announced the tariffs. So we had some indice weakness. As expected, this market was always bound to go down, but we had some major spikes before the market actually dropped. So just coming into the 1 hour to analyze these spikes, we can see market was pushing up the entire day, had a bit of downtrending, and as expected, it tapped into that break and retest level, which was marked out on the 4 hour right there. Tapped into that break and retest level before having that significant bullish, that significant bearish drop. So the bears have definitely taken back control of this market. So let's take a look and see what this means for the indicators. So on the 4 hour, we can observe that price is comfortably trading below the 50 moving average, and we are below 50 on the RSI, not to mention the bearish structure, which is still very much intact for the trend. This means we have three bearish confluences, thus the bears are in control on the 4 hour time frame. So despite that initial bullish push, this was only just a retracement as expected. It did retrace a lot further than I expected, but nonetheless, the bears had taken control. Unfortunately, I was not able to actually get in on this candle because per our entries, we are looking for that 4 hour 55, 4 hour 50 retracement mark, which was in line with the price trading below the 50 SMA. Price spiked, and then our entry on the 1 hour was just shattered. There was no way to enter without exposing ourselves to a lot of risk. So I will be looking for short entries, but just gotta wait for the opportune moment to do so. We can see that a gap was created, which is now being filled. My expectations is that price will continue moving higher to gain some of this liquidity back before making a further bearish play. So I will start looking for entries at 19,170.75, 19,170. At that mark, I feel that the price would have collected enough liquidity to keep dropping, not to mention it will be about 50% of this major bullish candle and trading very close to the 50 SMA. Oh, right, we don't look at entries here. So yeah, 4 hour, we have our three confluences, not to mention bearish structure, bearish engulfing. So all factors are pointing towards further bearish movements. And yeah, we will just wait and see what price does in order to collect that liquidity, and it'll also be in line with our markings for where we will be looking for an opportune moment on the 4 hour RSI. Should be a potential for a good retest there before a further drop. So let's move on to US 30, see what we can see here. So US 30, same thing. Price had that strong bullish retracement. I placed a couple of trades here at the top of this consolidation, and I was just unfortunate in my timing. That price did break above it. I closed out these trades pretty early, even before my stop loss, which is great because those major spikes would have definitely taken me out despite whatever position I had in at an earlier time. So markets pushed extremely high, actually broke above the 50 SMA before breaking back within that range. Take a look at RSI, price breaking just above that 55 mark before turning around after the announcement of Trump's tariffs. So going into the 1 hour, what we can see is that price was in a bit of consolidation, had the breakout liquidity grab, major spike at 10 o'clock before the drop took place. I would have actually loved to have gotten in here, but even if I did get in here, my stop loss being above structure, it still wouldn't have even reached 1:1 at the moment. So my idea for this pair, if I were to just remove the indicators and look at the price action, would be to wait for price to come back and retest the 41.683 level. Coming back here to the break and retest zone, if we were to just analyze in the 4 hour, would probably give us more means to be within that 50 RSI range, not to mention trading a lot closer to the SMA level, which is essentially what we want when we trade off this 50 RSI range. So only after retracement and a fair one at that, where we test the break and retest level without fundamentals skewing the technicals, we will have some validity of entry right there. So until then, we'll be staying out of this market. But great to see that the bears are still in control per our earlier analysis. Moving on to gold. So gold on the 4 hour chart, definitely moving a bit more bearish of recent. So at the Trump announcement, price was actually fairly stable, which was surprising. Most people, when they hear some jarring news, especially coming out of the greenback, which is a safe haven currency, what they do is gravitate towards gold. And we actually did not see that, which could be due to the overextended nature of gold. Not to mention, countries where tariffs will now be imposed means they will need to pay more if they are looking to import to the US or send their goods to the US. Now, what that essentially means is they may be looking to sell some of their gold reserves. They may be looking to put gold back into the market in order to cover these tariffs, which would make sense for why the market can go up and we could be looking for a spike down at the moment. And we could be seeing a bit of bearish play.
So, with that being said, we are in a bit of a bullish consolidation phase, which we can now see has been broken by the break of support here at the bottom. Obviously, this is a 4 hour candle, so we still have to wait to see. We still have 2 hours to see if this move will be sustained or if price will break back within the consolidative phase on the 4 hour. Taking a look at indicators, though, very interesting here on the 4 hour, we can see major bearish, bullish divergence. So it makes sense that we are now having a major bearish play here on the 4 hour. Price is trading comfortably above the 50 SMA on the 4 hour, and we could potentially be seeing a test of that level before a push up, similar to what we saw in this consolidated phase here. So time will tell, but clearly bears are in control in the short term. Will I be looking for sells? Potentially, yes, but they have to be validated levels. So coming down to the 1 hour, taking off the indicators, obviously we are looking for longs based on the 4 hour time frame, but we can see major bearish play. Now, price broke out off the resistance channel at 1347, did that liquidity grab, pushed back even below the level of support over here. So am I comfortable trading short on this market? Probably not. I would be looking for scalps, sure, but that will require me to go into much lower time frames to find them. And with the market moving at the momentum play it currently is, we would have to see what type of retracement levels we have today in order to take those shorts, and also knowing those shorts will not be sustained until we have a major fundamental bearish move for gold, which will probably be coming out of countries outside of the US selling their gold reserves. So for now, as I mentioned, pairs in a bit of a retracement. That major bearish divergence, bullish divergence could see on the RSI, could see price actually falling towards the trend line or even down towards that 3,000 level or 3,028, 3,030. So we'll have to just wait and see what plays out. I mean, we could have a break and retest at 3054 as well, which is something I will mark out right there. That's still within the 3-touch range. So we've broken there. So this is our next available level to retrace from, followed by the support here at 3,000 and potentially at 3,030. So let's see what happens with gold. If we do get further bearish, I'll be looking to trade from a break and retest of 3110 down towards 3052. Euro USD. Damn, this market just continues to surprise me. I mean, we have all this liquidity here and the market spikes. Look at that. But also primarily driven by the tariffs which were implemented by Trump yesterday. So it's clear the world is not reacting kindly to these tariffs in the short term, with USD weakness definitely at play. So let's analyze from an indicator perspective and see what we see. Wow, overextended region. So 4-hour time frame, well, we can take a look at the daily just to see what's happening. Daily time frame, price trading above the 50 SMA and is actually reaching into those overextended regions on the RSI. We have clear bullish structure with the higher lows, higher highs, definitely at play with a bullish trend line. However, this bullish trend line only has 2 touches and still needs to be validated by a third. But clearly from the daily time frame, bulls are in control, bullish confluence right there. 4-hour time frame, we can observe that price is finally creating a clear definition between itself and the 50 SMA, which is bullish. Price is tapping into that overextended region on the RSI, as well as clear bullish trend line, which also comes from the daily time frame. So we have 2 confluences added with the third from the daily time frame, which is bullish, and we will continue to look for those longs. Currently, as it stands on the 4-hour time frame, we do have a major spike to the upside, which may indicate that the bears are stepping back in. But we will have to switch over to the 1 hour to see what's happening there. So on the 1 hour, we can see that the 12 p.m. candle London session closed with a huge drop down. It could be that the market does need to collect some liquidity as it is hitting major overextended regions on the 1 hour as well. So it's clear price does need a retracement. I am looking to go long on this pair. It is clearly bullish. So my stance has switched from bearish to bullish. Excuse me. Come on, buddy. Bearish to bullish. And once we have a clean retracement, potentially down to either the 1.09, but that is not the most recent actually. This is the most recent here. So 1.0845, price coming down there, retesting that level before pushing higher would make sense, and would probably be within the within that 50 RSI region for me to take it while testing the 50 SMA. We would have to wait for a clear trend to develop on that 50 SMA for the 4-hour too. I think that is a necessity for a defined trade with valid retracement opportunities which we can trade long term. So yeah, switching to a bullish stance with Euro USD. As I mentioned, I wasn't trading yesterday as I was waiting for market directionality to be confirmed. Do I still feel price has a chance to move down? Absolutely. But for the moment, the bulls are in control. The bulls are in control, and we will continue to look for longs. Euro JPY, not much movement because these pairs are not dealing with yen, still consolidating. Broad range consolidation. We had that spike down, tested the support, pushed back up. So support didn't break, holding strong there, thus staying out of this. Thus broad range consolidation is not broad enough for me to take a risk on. USD JPY, very, very bearish. Clearly, USD weakness, yen strength has added to this movement after the announcement by Trump yesterday. Definitely not looking to go long on this pair. We are looking for shorts. So what happened to price? Price was in a consolidative phase upon the break and retest zone of 150.1. Well, even 150, so it's also a psychological zone. Once the announcements happened, price dropped significantly. Now let's take a look at the internal structures of this. Even if I did take a trade, we'd have a 1:2, so that would have been pretty great, but I did not take a trade because I did not know what the long-term momentum of that tariff announcement would have been. Price could have just dropped temporarily before going up. But trading the back end of the news, we are definitely looking for shorts. Let's take a look at the indicators. So price clearly defined as being below the 50 moving average, the SMA. We clearly see price trading below the 50 on the RSI. Actually, it's the overextended region right now. So what I'll be looking for here is for price to tap within that 55-45 region on the RSI, validating the retracement with an appropriate distance between the SMA and then obviously looking for a short play. What levels I would also note is potential break and retest of the support, which could turn into resistance at 148.992 or 149 essentially, which is a psychological level. So price spiking back up there, testing and then moving down could definitely have some validity. So that is the price action and the indications of trend in the short term for our major pairs. I'm not looking to go into the other pairs. I don't think I want to do that right now because we have major movements on our major pairs. So make some money, get some good trades in there. There's definitely opportunities and momentum stepping into the market, especially on the back end of Trump's moves and the way the US is positioning themselves against other currencies. I think, with the greenback being as strong as it is for as long as it has been, we could be seeing some fundamental shifts in economics, which again is great opportunities for investors. So make some money. Happy trading, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.